login. I will just try to call Ajay. आप ज्वाइन करते हैं।
प्रेजेंटेशन है
हाँ पहले कनेक्ट हो जाता
Hello, Satish sir.
Hello.
Sir, you can start. I will use Sapnil's laptop.
Okay, will I think wait. I will ask the Dr. J.K. Pal sir.
Yeah.
Only there are
Yeah.
36 attendees are there.
Okay, let attendees, more attendees to join.
Yeah, yeah.
Meanwhile, I will start. Thank you. I participant become है ठीक है टाइम है फिर
Good afternoon, Punde sir.
That's good.
Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Yeah.
Let's play. Let's play.
Are we waiting for someone?
Yes, sir. We are waiting for you and Dr. Swarda, ma'am.
Oh, yes. Swarda has to join. Okay.
Yes, yes. Ma'am.
Hello. Hello.
Yes. आगे इस पे दिख रहा है आ गया
Swapni sir, can I give a reminder call to Swarda, ma'am?
yes
Or shall we start?
No, give reminder to Swarda.
yeah
I think
Oh,
earlier we had one seminar right now.
yeah, yes. Okay, just I will call her. Yeah.
ठीक है हाँ
Sir, I just called ma'am. She is little bit busy. She said you just continue and she will join later on.
Yeah, we will go ahead then.
Okay. So with your permission, sir, and Dr. J.K. Pal, sir, can we start?
Yes, yes, sure.
Oh, yes. Okay, sir.
It is okay.
Very good afternoon to one and all present here. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome all the dignitaries of DPU family. I would like to also welcome all the panelists in the webinar. Dr. Swarda Piranwar, Head DPU Foundation for Innovation, Incubation and Entrepreneurship. Director Research DPU, Dr. Ramesh Bonde, sir. Director DYP PBI, Dr. J.K. Paul, sir. Research Coordinator DYP PBI, Dr. Neelu Navani. Innovation Ambassador MHRD, Dr. Tanushri Banerjee and Dr. Amit Ranjan. Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am, for accepting our invitation to deliver your talk in this webinar. Also, I would like to welcome DYP-PBI ISC Coordinator, Dr. Swapnil Gaikwad, Media Coordinator, Harsha Chandwani, and all my colleagues and my dear students. The theme behind organizing this webinar is Ministry of Human Resource and Development, Government of India has established MHRD Innovation Cell to systematically promote the culture of innovation amongst the higher education institutes. From idea generation to pre-incubation, incubation, and graduating from the incubator as a successful startups. The primary concept of MHRD Innovation Cell to encourage, inspire, and nurture young students by supporting them to work with new ideas while they are in formative years. Now, I am delighted to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Amit Ranjan, Sir has completed his PhD from ACTRIC, Tata Memorial Center, Homi Bhabha National Institute, Mumbai, in the field of cancer biology. Later on, he has joined Dr. D.Y. Patil Biotechnology and Bioinformatics Institute in the year 2014 as an assistant professor. Sir is a recognized innovation ambassador of MHRD2. With this brief introduction, now I would like to invite Dr. Amit Ranjan to deliver his talk on the topic orientation session on institutions, innovation, and council. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Satish.
Thank you, sir.
Would you like Professor Pal to give his opening remarks also?
If sir,
Yes,
if you
sir.
are
Yeah.
willing to, please.
Well, welcome to this first report of introducing the UIPBBI in the Innovation Council's prescribed activities, which is coordinated by our teachers and Satish Raut and the other team. And also, this is the first activity since the Innovation Council's registration had changed from our original DYPBBI to the University Innovation Cell. And for that, this is the first activity, and I'm very happy that we are initiating the activity in the form of webinars to encourage as well as incite most of the students and the other faculty to be part of these innovation activity. And our college traditionally has many innovations in the form of patents and technology transfer. So I'm sure that we are going to continue this affair and with more and more teaching and student community participating in this activity and benefit from the resources and other activities that are coordinated in our innovation center at the DPU. And I welcome all of the panelists and the number of students who have joined this in the program, and I wish good success for this first kind of activity under this Innovation Council. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. And now I would like to invite Dr. Amit Ranjan, sir.
Thank you, sir. So thank you and good afternoon to all the fellow panelists and dear students. So basically, I'm going to orient you about our institutional innovation councils. So how I have organized my talk. So I will briefly discuss about institutional innovation council, why innovation and incubation ecosystem needs to be promoted in higher education system, and what are the roles of our we innovation ambassadors and how we can help students. So institutional innovation councils is basically a collaboration of a Ministry of Education through its innovation cell, that is MIC, and the AICT that was launched IIC in 2018. So the aim of these IICs is to foster the culture of innovation and the startup ecosystems in higher institutes. So how we this innovation and startup ecosystem can be fostered in higher institutes. So this is possible by engaging students and the faculties in several activities like ideation, identifying a problem, developing a proof of concept of that idea, design thinking, intellectual property, like if you have something, then you patent it, and then how you can protect your intellectual property, project handling and management. So MIC has established IICs in more than 2,200 institutions till November 2020. But nowadays, in a span of 1 year, many more ISCs has been established. So DPU is also one of the has registered ISC Council. So it's the Biotechnology Institute, our Dr. D.Y. Patil Biotechnology Bioinformatics Institute is first registered, and then later on it is transferred to the DPU so that all the constituent colleges of the DPU can be fostered innovation ecosystem in those colleges also. So DPU also has a incubation center. So basically incubation center is basically a center or organization where a startup or certain innovator can be nurtured or mentored. So Dr. Swadha is the head of DPU, Foundation for Innovation and Incubation Entrepreneurship, which is supported by two managers, Dr. Rohan and Dr. Jafar. Besides our DPU, there are also incubation center in Pune, which is the largest science business incubation center, that is the venture center. Besides this, there are several Atal incubation centers and established incubation center, about 68 in numbers throughout the India. So if you have any innovative idea, you want to start a startup or entrepreneurship, you can incubate your idea. Now, why innovation and incubation ecosystem needs to be promoted in higher education system? So one statistic, that is a global innovation index. So basically this is an annual reports published by the WIPO, that is the World Intellectual Property Organization. So if you see the reports of 2021, our country, India, is not listed in top 10, but we should be a bit happy that in the last 7 years, from 2015 till 2021, our ranks has increased from 81 till 46th position. So we have almost a jump from 35 places from 2015 till today. So this is my own perspective. Can we reach within this top 10 position? So my perspective is our strength. We are very good at frugality. Frugality here means economic. We are much more economic. So like I can give example of the Mars mission. So we Indians send our Mangalyaan almost 1/10 cost of the NASA's mission. Then we have a huge manpower. If you train them, then they can be good innovators or entrepreneurs, startups. We have a good resources. So good resources here means we have a rich knowledge like Vedic knowledge and several others. And we have a huge market potential. Let's say I give you an example about a phone. India ranked second in largest, about 1.32 billion Indians users use smartphone, next to the China. So for cell phone company, India is a huge market. Now coming to the some weakness. So our weakness is lack of communication. Suppose a good student who has good innovative idea, but if he is not able to communicate, then his idea is shadowed. But thanks to this social media, nowadays he can post, he can shoot a video and he can post in the social media and he can get fame, and someone who's interested in his idea, he can catch his idea. Another weakness is disciplinary restriction. Like once a kid is born, his fate is decided that time whether he will take a science or a arts. But nowadays, thanks to the government policy, like nowadays, even an arts student who is interested in a science, so he can take some classes, online classes from MOOCs platforms or some other online platform, so he can proceed in his life. Another is support for patent filing. Earlier, there was no support for patent filing, and also the time taken for the examining the application is much more higher. So nowadays it take almost 1 to 2 years in the mid of the in the early in December 20 till 2060 it takes almost more than 6 years, and also the cost for filing patent has reduced, and also the government is supporting patent filing by reducing giving the reimbursement. So these were a weakness, but slowly we are removing this weakness. So I hope that we surely we reach within 10. Now, I will briefly introduce what is innovation. So innovation is anything new to the business. So innovation, there's several types of innovation: a product innovation or a process innovation. So product innovation, any innovation that is given in a product and that is visible, that is called a product innovation. Or a process innovation. The example of this product innovation, you can see the of cell phones. Earlier days, we have a cell phone of one feature only we can talk, but nowadays we have a cell phone with so many features. So that's a product innovation. The process innovation is invisible, we can't see. Like I can give you example about a vaccine production. Earlier days, the production of vaccine takes so many years, sorry. But nowadays, within a span of 1 year, we have produced COVID-19 vaccine. So by incorporating several process like machine learning, bioinformatics tools, and so on. So the innovations involves introduction of a new product, introduction of a new production method, opening up a new market also involves innovation. Let's say a digital payment system. Like Paytm was the first to introduce digital payment system, but nowadays several other payment systems is available like PhonePe and Google Pay and so on. Change in the source of supply is also an innovation. Like earlier we have to go to the market to buy, but nowadays we can order from our house. Like there are several systems like a Grofers, Big Baskets. Reorganization of industry is another innovation. So if you don't reorganize your industry may lose. So one example is Hindustan Motors. So earlier when there was a car ambassadors, that was basically a symbol of status, but nowadays it has no existence. The Hindustan Motor has set up its company in 2014. And another important thing is a new method of teaching. So this is also an innovation. If you don't adopt new method of teaching, you won't be innovative. So new method of teaching is incorporation is also a sort of innovation. Like I can give example of my daughter. He's in a junior class, but when the teachers nowadays, they are teaching several innovative idea. Like if you ask them to how to identify the colors, so they will go and pick up the colors, object of different colors, basically object of different colors. So these are the different innovative ways of teaching, but we miss that. So that's surely have impact on coming generation. Now innovation may be a radical innovation. So a radical innovation is basically a new innovation for a new market. So the example I can give is a space tourism. It has a new market. So there were several like Richard Branson's company and Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. So many competitors are there to promote space tourism. Architectural innovation. So here the modification of existing product to the new market. So the example of this type of innovation is your printers. Earlier printers or the Xerox machine was a big in size, but now it is compact. You can do the printing, Xeroxing, scanning, everything, and even they can be connected to the online. Disruptive innovation. So here the new product can disrupt the existing market. So the example is your Nokia phone. So because Nokia, the introduction of different smartphone has disrupted the market of the Nokia, because Nokia is not able to perform well its feature. He's not able to adapt good features in his phone. Another is incremental innovation, so which involves the continuous improvement of the existing product so that product can exist in the market. The example is I can give is iPhones. This iPhone is continuously modifying so that it can maintain or it has a grasp in the market. Now, I briefly introduce our journey from ideation to a business or the market. So this is my brief sketch. So the first step is ideation. So the important step in ideation is a problem identification. So how you can identify a particular problem? So you may ask question, that question may be silly. Once you have a novel idea, then you may patent that idea. From ideation, the next step is prototype. If you have innovative idea, you patent it, then you may proceed for the prototype of that. For prototype, you need to have a proof of concept of that idea, whether that idea is feasible or not. Then from prototype, we can be also patented, and from the prototype that can be scaled up after several modification as a product, and the product can be also patented. If you have a product, you may start up your own business, or you may transfer the technology of that product to some company so they can buy and then sell the product. Before proceeding, here comes the role of incubators. So as I said already, incubator will nurture your idea, provide you mentorship so that you can startup can proceed. So many of the startup data is within first 2 years. That means you need several mentoring, you need to consider several other factors so that your startup can be successfully translated into a business. Then comes the business model or the plan. So here, if you have a product, you need to first do the study, where is market, whether the product is suitable for market, whether the customers, who are your customers, whether they can accept your product or not. Now, I give you a case study just nowadays. There's a burning question of a stubble burning. So the farmers, they are burning their stubble because government is not buying. So can anyone think of innovative idea how someone can buy this stubble so that farmer don't need to burn those? Okay, and can develop some product from that. Like one of the product is being generated from this stubble is ethanol. So someone can think and develop some other product from that. Then farmer don't need to burn this stubble. Now, what is our role? So we, me, Dr. Amit and Dr. Tanushree are innovation ambassador. So our role is to organize activity within and outside institute for promoting or supporting innovation, IPR and startup culture, to provide mentoring supports and guidance to the students so then can participate in the National Innovation Contest, and also to conduct clinics. So this clinic is bit different from what a doctor's clinic. So here it's a counseling session, okay, between a mentor and a student. So basically, another role is to ignite your brain about startup innovation. So this is tentative schedule we have decided for clinics, like second and fourth Saturday of every month around 3 to 5, and Dr. Tanushree Friday, first and third Saturday on every month 3 to 5. So this schedule may be finalized and then it can be displayed. So this is one-to-one session. So if any student have some innovative idea, they can discuss with us. We'll guide them. Now, how we can help students? So we can help students by taking lead in identifying and scouting their innovative idea. They will help with in developing the proof of concept, the prototype. Another is we can also disseminate or encourage more and more students or innovators or entrepreneurs to submit their idea of proof of concept in several innovation contests. So there are several innovation contests every year organized by the MIC, so that they can be identify those and they can be further scaled up. So like one is Smart India Hackathon. So basically it's annual contest to solve some pressing problems. Another is our drug discovery hackathon, which started last year. So in this discovery, one of our mentor, basically Dr. Neelu Nawani, along with the other students, they participated in this drug discovery hackathon and they were selected and they were also awarded. Another is Toycathon. It was started this year. Like if you buy any toys for your kids, you can find these toys are made in China. When I buy this toy, I feel so bad. India is a huge population and huge mind, but still why we are buying the toys from made in China? We can't create toys. So that's why government has started this Toycathon to promote the Indian toys. So anyone may have an innovative idea about how to make a toys, they can participate in next. Now, creativity. What is creativity? So basically it's the one's own personal, how he can solve that basically problem solving process, how one can creatively solve that problem. So that your creativity can be converted into innovation with the help of design thinking. And our next speaker, Dr. Tanushree Banerjee, is going to elaborate more on innovation and design thinking. Thank you for your patient listening. And I would like to acknowledge our director, Professor J.K. Pal. Thank you, sir, for continuously encouraging and motivating us to think innovative methods for teaching. Dr. And also the Pal sir for sending me the links. That's why I joined this Innovation Ambassador training program. Dr. Neelu Nawani, which is indeed a true innovation ambassador, not of DYPBA, but entire DPU. Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Tanushree Banerjee, our co-innovation ambassador. All my dear colleagues, specifically the ISE, Dr. Sampath, Dr. Swapnil, and Satish sir, and also that I forgot her name. Yeah, Harsha.
Harsha.
Harsha. And my dear students, thank you. I can take any questions.
Yes, all the participants, if you have any queries, you can ask or you can type your question in the chat box.
I would like to add something.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, please.
And thank you, Amit, for a nice presentation.
Thank you, sir.
And among many of the activities that we are undertaking, in that context, I would like to add one more activity that we have started for the benefit of the students in particular. Before this national level hackathon, actually, we are starting in a small way a recruitment hackathon in our institute, where we had the first meeting already. There are 6 or 7 colleges in the vicinity would be participating along with the students of our college, and our the centralized regulation and organization would be with DYPBBI. And there would be 7 or 8 companies who are actually the recruiters. They are going to be part of this Nexus. And this hackathon is going to be a competition of ideas and competition of problem solving along the same line of the national hackathon. So if the people who are going to qualify here, these companies are going to offer each company about 2 students for employment in the respective companies based on the competitions and their pickup. And there would be the final year students who would preferably be the ones who would be chosen for the placement. And the third year students can also participate as a kind of learning process, and they can also be given the internship of 2 months into the companies. So this also is going to have prizes which can vary from 40,000 first prize down the consolation prize, and the companies are going to bear the expenses for the prize. They will have T-shirts in the hackathon, mentioning about the hackathon at DYP BBI, and some other the incentives. And this is the first of unique kind that we are starting from DYP BBI. So that could be as well a part of the innovation activity of the PU and initiated by DYP BBI. I'm very happy to share that many such activities are actually initiated at DYP BBI. And we are also now a forerunner in this context. And I'm sure a very fruitful outcome is going to come out from this hackathon that we are likely to have sometimes towards the beginning of December. And the national hackathon is in February, so that from these people who are going to qualify, they can go ahead for the national level hackathon. I just wanted to add that new information. Our first meeting took place only yesterday, and there will be a series of mentoring sessions by the company experts before actually the competition, which would take place 24-hour hackathon over the day and night. So the representative from these colleges would be there along with their students, including our own. And this is going to be a very exciting activity. And I personally would look forward, along with all my colleagues, to such an event. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the insight and providing the additional knowledge. And I'm sure that the students and participants, definitely they will take the advantage of this hackathon or this activity. Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Paul, I would like to congratulate you for this initiative. Excellent initiative on your part. It will really benefit all the students, staff, and everyone will be excited to have it.
Sir, please
Sir,
unmute.
you are on mute.
Oh, I was on mute. Okay, okay. So I would like to
Yeah,
congratulate Dr. Paul. Right.
Thank you, thank you. We are
Yeah, yeah.
also involving the Art Science College Pimpri.
Okay,
This
okay.
group of colleges that we are together in this
Mhm.
hackathon.
Okay, wonderful. That's nice. It's a very good initiative.
Dr. Amit, there is one question from Dr. Ganesh Patil. What about financial support in early stage? Is the foundation offer some support?
Yes. Like also during our innovation ambassador training, we have been asked that we can ask our ISC to dedicate 1% of their annual budget towards the innovation. So sure, they can be initial support.
Oh, thank you, sir.
I would like to add to this. Now, today itself, we had the Central Innovation
Things are called this.
Yeah.
What
Dr.
happened?
Sir got disconnected, right?
Okay.
I think some internet issues there. At us.
Dr. Amit, it was a very nice talk.
Thank you, ma'am. I prepared in 2 days, bit busy whole night. I have to read. So maybe some.
But it was
Yes,
very nice.
really,
Thank
really,
you,
sir.
ma'am.
We
Very nice
appreciate.
talk, yes.
I
Yeah,
appreciate.
you have done a good job.
With short notice, you accepted the invitation and deliver your talk.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you.
I'm sure
And-
the students would also have got quite inspired and will start off thinking about some innovative ideas.
Yeah. So this is our main motto of the ISC, to promote innovation and startup culture in our institute as well as through entire DPU.
And also Pal sir shared this news of hackathon, which is again, we look
And
forward to such a
addition,
great event. Right. And regarding funding, I can add, I think Pal sir was mentioning the same thing. I would continue that. So just today we had a meeting. It was basically regarding the startups which are going to be floated by students and also by faculty. So we are again a forerunner in this. Out of 3 people who presented, 2 are from biotechnology. So if it gets through, then yes, our startups, which are by the students and by the faculty, would be supported by the incubation center of DPU. So DPU has already started taking this initiative, and Dr. Swarda is taking a lot of efforts to encourage this initiative, along with the support from Dr. Bhonde and other directors and the higher ups and the higher authorities.
Thank you, ma'am, for your additional support and knowledge. So over to you, Harsha. You just.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. We do not have any more questions as of now, so we may take it maybe at the end of the entire session. So we may now proceed with the next talk, which will be delivered by Dr. Tanushree Banerjee. And so may I introduce her to the audience, though our audience today is already familiar with her. So Dr. Tanushree Banerjee is an associate professor at our institute and an in charge of the Molecular Neuroscience Research Laboratory. She holds 1 patent and numerous publications and awards, DST Inspire faculty being one of them. She is also an IISc Innovation Ambassador of the MHRD Innovation Cell, and today she'll be delivering her talk on design thinking and innovation. So over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Harsha, for the kind introduction. Good afternoon to all fellow panelists, fellow colleagues, and my dear students. I would also like to thank Dr. D.Y. Patil Vidyapeeth and MHRD to entrust us this responsibility of being the innovation ambassadors, and for giving us the opportunity to talk to our young, enthusiastic future entrepreneurs, future innovators. Before we move on to the talk, I would like to thank Amit sir for his detailed talk. Very well explained, sir. You made my job really easy. Thank you so much. Okay. So now before beginning, let's first ask ourselves, why are we here on Saturday afternoon? Everybody is talking about innovation. Amit sir has well explained. It's like a buzzword. People are talking about innovation. Earlier, we used to talk about inventions. Now we are talking about innovations. So what happened? Did we get bored of the old terminology and just made a switch? Or is there a real difference? Yes, there is a difference. Innovation is doing new things, keeping user perspective. That is, users are our center. Whatever we design, whatever we build, whatever solutions we come up so that a societal benefit can be there. A pain point can be resolved. That is why we are using the term innovation these days. And why are you all here? Because you are going to be the innovators, you know. It's like the young minds are full of fresh ideas. And that's what we need. Like Amit sir just said, space tourism. So the day is not far when you people will say, chalo next year space pe college trip chalte hain. The next college trip will be in space. Sounds crazy, right? At this point of time, it may sound crazy, but technology is always there. Technology is already there, right? One of you will make it affordable. So affordability, that factor is still missing, and that requires innovation. Right? So you are the ones who are going to solve these problems in our future. And that is why you are here. You are not here to listen to Tanushree. You are here to tap your own ingenuity. You are here to tap your own resource, that is your fresh mind, right? I'm sure many of you here are already inclined to become entrepreneurs, to become innovators. After this talk, I want all of you to be inclined, to be capable of innovating, to solve societal problems, right? So should we begin? So the talk has two basic terms, that is design thinking and innovation. What is design thinking? Think of a design, right? So it is like first you identify the problem and then you come up with some ideas. It may sound crazy, but you are the ones who knows that you will have to get it solved by hook or by crook, right? Just stay within laws and that's it. That's the only constraint, staying legal and putting those ideas to solution. Which solution? The solution that is going to impact the largest section of the society. Okay, so it is transforming your ideas to reach the maximum part of the society. So what needs to be done? The thing that scientists always have been doing, that is to observe. First, observe your society, observe your family, friends, your watch news, see what the society is facing. What is the trouble? Like Amit sir just mentioned, the burning of stubble. Yes, that's a problem, right? So identify a pain point. Observe so keenly that you start empathizing with their problem. Just because somebody else is feeling it, do not be detached. Try to feel what they are facing. Then only you will be able to come up with a solution. Correct? Try to define the problem. See what is the most common pain point. Where is the target? What is the opportunity for your intervention, for coming up with a solution? This is the main job. That is identifying the correct problem that the society faces. Correct? And then we come to the ideation stage. Sir already explained what is ideation. It's like, to make it simple, let's just sit with drawing board and pencil. Make sketches. If you are developing a product, develop some drawings. Try to draw some sketches. Show it to your friends, show it to your family. Which one looks good? Which one do you think that will have a greater impact? Okay. So let's say you have developed around 30 sketches. And from that, select out a few. Based on what? Based on user feedback. Those who are facing the problem, show them the sketch. Ye banaya hai. Which one do you think will solve the problem to the greatest extent? They will come up with some suggestions, positive, negative, whatever it is, whatever feedback you get. Don't get disheartened by criticism. They are for your benefit. Okay. If it is positive, very good. If it is negative, even better. Right? So because that helps you building. So from there, you select a few ideas which seems to be more impactful in solving the problem. From there, you design your POC, that is proof of concept, model. Model means jo bhi milta hai haath ke samne, whatever is readily available, cardboard, thermocol, chart paper, whatever is available, try to give it a shape. Okay, from 2D, bring it to the 3-dimensional structure. And then you build a functional prototype. Once you build the prototype, again show it to the user, give it to them, use it, give us feedback. Okay, and then based on that, either you improve on it, completely change it, or carry on. If it is good, the feedback is good, you are ready to implement. Implementation is very important. Treat this solution as your dream, these ideas as your dream, and never let that dream go away. Okay, make that dream come true. So that is what is implementation. So this is like identifying the problem, develop a few solutions, and find out the best possible design to reach the largest section of the society. That is design thinking. Innovation, Amit sir already explained, so I will not again explain what is that. But the first stage, as we said, is problem identification. This is the most critical stage. If your problem is being faced by a very small section of the society, your product may not have that much of significance. But a problem which is being faced by a large section will definitely have a very big impact, right? So selecting the problem, then coming up with the idea, and then designing your solutions. Now I'll give you a story of Indian letterbox. How many of us have used letterbox? At your generation, you people may not have even used, right? Why do we need to? We have emails, WhatsApp, all that. But letterboxes are still used because all those official emails, all those official mails, sorry, not emails, official mails, credit cards, everything comes through the letterboxes. Letterboxes are highly used. But are they in usable condition? A few years back, government noted that most of the letterboxes, they are rusted, niche se khali ho gaya. So you drop the letter and it falls on the ground instead of the letterbox. Okay. In the rain, it gets so wet, you take out the letter and it's like all drenched. Kuch likha hi nahi hua hai, sab mit gaya. Okay. So that was a huge problem. Ruined letterboxes. So what government did, they asked IIT Mumbai, Professor B.K. Chakravarti's team, to come up with an innovative design for letterbox. What Professor Chakravarti's team did is they developed few sketches. Please, these sketches are not their actual sketches. These are just taken from Google. Okay. So similarly, they have come up with sketches. Based on those sketches, they developed a very nice looking letterbox. This letterbox was, leak proof, rust free. Postman doesn't even have to bend for collecting the letter. It was like easily they can take out the letters from the box. You see this bird beak kind of a design, which will prevent, mischievous kids to put crackers inside it. Hum karte the na Diwali mein, we will put crackers in the letterbox and it will just fire up, create sound, right? So that all those things could be prevented, they came up with this beautiful design and installed a few of those in metropolitans like Mumbai. They got excellent reviews. They were like, wow, this good, that good. So they went for upscaling, that is, increase the production of these letterboxes. And this time they installed it in the rural areas. You know what happened? People did not even realize that this is a letterbox. Some thought that it is some kind of camera. कुछ सामने खड़े हो गए कि भाई लॉटरी की टिकट निकलेगी यहाँ से. Some people thought it is a garbage bin, so they tried to pick up the lid. It did not come out. Okay. So this did not even get used in the rural area because they are not aware of these logos and they cannot, most of them cannot read. So what was the point that we are taking from here? When we come to a solution, we will have to know who are my users. Finally, what they did is they again went back to the prototype stage. From the mass production stage, they had to go back because it was not fulfilling the user requirement. They came up with something good, but red, which should look like a letterbox, which will not have the initial problems like rain or getting drenched or rusting, but something should be recognizable, right? So all thanks to Professor B.K. Chakravarti's team that finally we have this new litter boxes. All I'm trying to say is when we design thinking is an approach where we put users at the forefront. We should know for whom are we developing the solution, because it has to reach the society, right? Now, based on just problem identification, there are different types of innovation. Dr. Amit already explained a few, like sustaining innovation, where the product is already there. We will just add up qualities, add up features, improve upon it. It is like where we know we want to go to some place, we know what place that is. We have a few 3-4 routes to go to that place, and we just have to select the most convenient route, right? So that is what sustaining innovation. Most of the innovation these days are belonging to this criteria, because it's easy, right? Because you know where to go. Next is breakthrough innovations. There are some problems which are very unconventional, very difficult to solve. Like find out the pollution content of underwater sea level. For such unconventional problems, we need unconventional solutions. So just building a product is not enough. Analyzing the situation by a team of different expertise, that is what is required. So let's involve a marine biologist, let's involve a microbiologist, let's involve those who can determine the sensors, make the sensors, engineers, basically chemists. Okay, so a breakthrough innovation requires integrative approach of different areas. Disruptive innovation, just like he said, that it is like changing the course. Just by developing a product, we cannot change the course. We will have to change the entire business model. The example he gave of Nokia, who could not catch up with the Android market, right? Same thing is going to happen for electric cars. Electric cars are already there. Two main problems which people are trying to solve. What are those? First is environmental friendliness. Second, it has to be affordable. Environmental friendliness, yes, all electric cars will be environmental friendly. Affordable, still a big question, right? So disruptive innovation is something which changes the entire course of innovation. And the most important type is basic research, which is the fundamental research, developing new principles, establishing new scientific theories. Difficult, not at the first stage, readily marketable, but please remember, it lays the foundation for all types of applied innovations and research. Okay. So just based on problem identification, we have discussed so much terminology, so many things. So that does not mean that innovation is difficult. We all are good at innovation. Jugaad, right? हम सबको पता है what is जुगाड़, right? कुछ something is not working, चलो जुगाड़ लगाते हैं. So we are जुगाड़ innovators. How many of us here have used मिट्टी का घड़ा? I have used, I know. In hostel, to keep the water cool, I used to use मिट्टी का घड़ा. But how many of us thought of using that same principle of मिट्टी का घड़ा for keeping something cool to develop a refrigerator from it? Being honest, I did not. But he did. Mansukh Bhai Prajapati, small farmer from Gujarat, and he empathized with the problems of the small road time vendors, rural people who are trying to keep their vegetables, fruits fresh. They don't have electricity on the roadside. How would they manage? So he developed, Mitti Cool, village refrigerators. For this cool innovation, he received many awards. This is the website of his shop, big shop he has. Okay. So Jugaad, that's what it is, right? Now, if you go to a website known as Better India, where you will get many such examples of Jugaad. Okay. Now, this is another example. A rickshaw puller. Somebody is not on mute. A rickshaw puller from Delhi, Dharamveer, he is a he's farmer's son. So he saw that farmers are poor, their products are sold at much lesser price than the processed products, right? So they were facing a lot of loss. So he ingeniously developed a multi-purpose food processing machine. For this, again, he received many awards. Jugaad, again. Now from there, he is known as Kisan Dharamveer. From a rickshaw puller, he is now a national figure. Okay. So please don't think that we need a lot of resources. Jugaad is coming up with innovations, coming up with solutions in adversity with limited resources. When we have lack of resources, we need to tap our ingenuity, the resource that is within us, and develop a solution out of it. This 20-year-old boy, Madhav, he developed transcribed glass. One of his peers, he was having hearing disability. For that, he had to discontinue his studies. So he empathized with his problem and he developed something called as transcribed glass, inspired by Google Glass, and which could convert speech to text. So many examples: ambulance on thela, crop sprayer on cycle, innumerable examples of innovative solutions that is just based on minimal resources. Jaipur foot. We had prosthetics for a very long time, but those were costly. Sometimes it was not affordable, okay, particularly in developing countries. So Dr. Pramod Sethi, one with another craftsman, those who develop, plaster of Paris vases and, those icons and all, he took his help to develop Jaipur foot, a prosthetic which is easily affordable. So what I'm trying to say is, just because we are using different terminologies does not make it difficult. All we have to do is to empathize with a pain point, have that inclination to solve it, okay? And since we are already good at developing such innovative, ingenious solutions, we are at an advantage, right? India should be at an advantage, should not be below the top 10 countries. We should be amongst the top 10, right? So that is what we have made Jugaad so famous that even European Union, they have recognized it as a sustainable mode of innovation. Obviously, they will not call it Jugaad, so they gave it a more global term, frugal innovation. This frugal innovation, that is also developing. Sab kuch develop kar raha hai, Jugaad bhi develop kar raha hai, right? So now Jugaad is going digital. So there is something called as digital frugality. Banking sectors, they are very much into this. They don't want to invest nowadays in fancy buildings, including our Reserve Bank. They have come up with micro ATMs, portable devices, digital frugality. Copenhagen Institute of Interaction Design has developed one entire team on digital frugality. And you know who they hire? They hire Indian inventors, because the main aim is frugality, that is sustainable economic development with minimal resources. So we have a lot of potential within us. We just need to realize it and implement it. The entire innovation is based on the trifecta of desirability, feasibility, and viability. The solution has to be desirable. That is, society should require it. Feasible. Feasible means it should be doable, right? You will have to analyze what all resources we have and then come up with a solution. But here also I will say the youth is many steps ahead. Why, you know? Because for them, feasibility bar is much, much higher. They can achieve so many things because a senior person will think whether this design will be approved by the government, whether I will get my grant, whether my institute will be happy or not. Whereas a student like you, he or she will not be constrained by these thoughts. He will just come up with a design. I want this design to be feasible. So what I'll do, let me talk to my seniors, those who are already in this field. Let me talk to my classmates who are already doing some jobs, they have money, maybe they will support me. So they will say by developing network, I will try to solve it. So for them, feasibility is also easy. They will make it feasible. So you are the ones who are going to make it feasible, right? Only thing is, be careful that it should be viable. It should be a long-term solution. Then only with increasing competition, changing market landscape, you will be able to sustain. With all this innovation, what is most important is to understand for whom you are developing the product or the solution. That is context. What is their need? What is their socio-economic condition and cultural aspect? Like I gave the example of letterbox. A fancy letterbox, but could not be recognized. So then we did not take into account the context, right? So contextualization is very, very important. And depending upon that, we design our product. First was problem identification. Next is ideation. That is, ideation is not just coming up with idea and developing sketches, right? We will have to understand what are the constraints. You may reduce the constraints. You will have to explore the possibilities, do more experiments, develop more sketches, get more feedback, and then come up with the advanced model by adopting technology. So this entire step is problem identification, then ideation. Next, what is the stage? That is solution, right? Now, Amit sir already said that it is first the proof of concept, then the prototype. So let's start with drawing board. I am not very good at computers, so I'll say let's start with drawing board. But those who are good at it, they will say, why drawing board? Computer-aided designing is there. We'll start with CAD modeling. Okay, so develop your models. Select a few which are having high potential. Develop your mock-up. That is the non-working model with whatever is available. Take user feedback. Based on that, improve upon it. Then develop working model. That is prototype. And here, if the user feedback is good, you can go for pilot production. Not good, again, you will have to improve. So it depends upon user, whether they are just satisfied or happy or sad. So you'll have to keep on taking their feedback, whether it is for concept creation, evaluation, refinement. At every stage, user feedback is important. So finally, you reach to concept validation and finalization based on user feedback. And here we are ready to move for the final stage. But before we move on to the final stage, that is production, we should know that it is having pitfalls. It's not a very smooth road, right? So from mock-up to working prototype, yes, there are risks. From working prototype to pilot production, again, there are risks. But at every step, you will take feedback, you will develop your product, and finally, you will reach the final production stage. Here, you can start your own startup, collaborate with an industry. And these days, universities, institutions, they are going for their own spin-off companies. Okay, so all these small terms, we will keep on explaining when we have more sessions with you, one-to-one interactions with you. But here, what we are trying to say is, we are here to help you, to guide you if you need any guidance regarding innovation. Okay, all of you are capable. All of you have the potential. It's just a little bit of grooming that's required to reach the stage of a successful entrepreneur who can solve a bigger problem of the society. So please remember, once your product reaches the society, then only you become a successful innovator. Okay, all right. Thank you so much. I would like to thank Professor Pal for giving me this opportunity, for being a constant motivation. Professor Nawani for again and again enthusing us for delivering such sessions. Professor Bhonde, Dr. Swarada, all my colleagues, Dr. Amit, and my dear students. Thank to all of you for patiently listening. Thank you so much.
Such an informative and inspiring talk, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Harsha. Thank you so much.
So the participants may come up with the questions.
It was a wonderful talk, Dr. Tanushree.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, Tanushree, it was a wonderful talk.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, I also got to learn many things from you, because this is.
I'm humbled. I think you are mute.
I think both our ambassadors did a good job, and I hope that they would sustain and continue educating our young population, young children, and so that someone among them, or a few among them, come up to a stage of innovation and make us proud, So that would be a wonderful thing. And just for the information of all students, Dr. Tanushree has recently filed a patent, on a very innovative design of a mask for children, and that is being being processed through our innovation cell in the university, Dr. Sardar. So that is a very unique design. Sometimes he might talk about it in more details to the particularly COVID-19 crisis says many of our faculty have tried doing many things, many good publications, competitions, prizes, patents, etc. So I think we are marching quite well. We require to enhance the number of people participating or involved in this kind of innovative exercises.
Dr. Jayant, we are having that some exhibition during NAC visit. So at that time, you can display these masks, because really innovative. So it will be nice seeing is believing. The peer team will be really happy to have such innovation displayed in an exhibition.
Correct. So Tanushree, please do the needful.
Yeah, I will contact Tanushree, of course. Yeah. And I am also having one exhibition that is Life in a Dish. So we will show all the cell cultures there with ciliary activity, cheek embryo culture. So because they should know how it looks like. All kinds of stem cells, adipocytes, endothelial cells, then our ciliary activity, and also the islets of Langerhans generated from stem cells. Let them see at least what type of work is going on in our lab. Even molecular diagnostic lab, we will show them the confocal images right alive. There is no question about it.
Right, good idea. Thank you.
Yes, any questions from students?
I think they must already be busy with some ideas, thinking about some ideas.
Okay, okay.
The youth is already
Fine.
quite, good at jugaad, as ma'am said.
Fine then, yeah.
Okay, any questions? If no more questions, then anyone would like to add anything from the panel?
Okay, so I would like to just add
Yes, ma'am.
that the students, when they come up and when they speak to Dr. Amit and Dr. Tanushree, if they have any innovative solutions for any existing problems, be assured that the institute is going to help for patenting your ideas, or you have some artistic material which you want to copyright, that is also possible. If you have come up with a music piece which you want to copyright, that is also possible. The students have to just come forward. We would select those ideas and forward them to the incubation center of DPU, which then necessarily formalizes all the procedures which are required for these patenting and for copyrights. Right, so it's very open. With Pulsar's support, we have marched much ahead in innovation, and I'm sure we'll continue to do that.
Thank you, ma'am.
I think if there is little time and they are not asking much questions, Tanushree can brief the gist of the innovation or the patent, just in few 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay, sir, thank you. So the main problem which I thought was for people like us who constantly needs to speak, and it is very difficult to speak with the mask on. One problem is that. Second, the small children who will have problems when they go to school, their mask will have to be put on by moshis or ayas, or they will just lose the mask. Their mask will get exchanged. So those are the two main worries as a mother and as a teacher I had. So I thought of coming up with a design where people will not have to take off the entire mask. That way we will restrict the mask to the person who owns it. There will be no mishandling. There will be no difficulty in putting it on. And the second difficulty, that is while speaking, we feel breathless while taking the lectures. Okay, so here we will have the entire bottom chin will be covered with HEPA filter. Okay, and there will be a lot of breathing space. So there should be no gasping or no breathless feeling while speaking, because the breathing space will be much higher, and it will not keep on touching the face. Otherwise, the jaw movement is difficult. So near the jaw, there will be a flexible hinge kind of a structure, which will help the mask to move as we are moving our jaws. So those are the three basic things which I thought of incorporating. It's still in the process, sir. It's not been filed yet.
Congratulations, Tanushree. Very good thought.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so we may conclude today's session.
Yeah, better. It's true.
Okay, so I would conclude it formally with a small vote of thanks. So I would like to thank our Honorable Chancellor, Dr. P.D. Patil, sir, our Honorable Pro-Chancellor, Dr. Mrs. Bhagyashree Patil, ma'am, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. N.J. Pawar, sir, Honorable Trustee, Dr. Mrs. Smita Jadhav, ma'am, and Dr. A.N. Suryakar, sir, Registrar, for the kind support and encouragement. A big thank you to Pal, sir, for his constant guidance support. And thank you to all the panel members to grace the session. Thank you, Swarda ma'am, for helping us conduct this webinar today. And thank you all the faculty members, staff, participants, and most of all the IT department for the technical support.
Harsha, there are two
Yes.
questions.
Yes. I'll just check it out. Yeah. Okay, so if there's one question, that is, if we have an idea on which we want to conduct research, what do we do then? Tanushree ma'am, would you like to answer this question?
Okay, so the first thing is, if you already have the main thing, that is the problem and the idea you already have. Yes, so that is a basic research, which we always do, basic research or innovation. Depends upon what type of problem you have identified, right? So first, you can start at the early stage, that is in your dissertation only, you can start working on it. You can take guidance from your teachers, those who are dealing in the related field. You can come to us if you have any difficulty, any further knowledge you want regarding funding or regarding how to approach, how to make the design. Definitely, this is the right stage to start. Okay, so earlier we used to think we will have to have PhD, then only we can do research. No, you are at the right stage. You have identified the problem, half the problem is solved. Okay, so right now we are in a stage that we get start early our research, and this is what we do in dissertation also. We do the same thing, right? So we identify a problem, we work on it. Most of the time we work on principal PI's idea. This time, if the student has the idea, that's well and good. We always promote such students. Institute has the policy of promoting such students who have their ingenious ideas, right? So they can start early.
Can I ask one question, ma'am?
Yeah, sure.
Can we disclose our ideas to someone without filing a patent or doing some copyright? Although there are chances of copying or something like that.
It's never a good idea. Okay?
Yeah.
So
You could
unless
always,
you're
yeah, you could always sign a non-disclosure agreement with the
Yes.
person if required.
yes. So in an open meeting, we should never reveal the complete ideas if it is not protected, right, ma'am? Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
The next question is, should we go directly to the innovative cell? So yes, I think as Dr. Amit and Dr. Tanushree mentioned that they will be available on Saturdays. So I guess they can meet them directly. Yes, so that's it, I guess. So
So just one clarification, I think we are not innovative
Yes,
cell.
sir.
I think we are just the clinics. Innovative
Yeah.
cell is there at DPU,
DPU.
main DPU. So you will have to come and meet the innovation ambassadors at their, we call it a clinic time. That is the terminology that has been proposed by MHRD. So MHRD has said that these are the clinics, okay, of innovation ambassador. So you can directly meet the innovation ambassador.
Ma'am, even they can meet any DYPBI Innovation Council member.
Yeah, that's
Right.
whatever the committee we have, so they can come to us, we can discuss, and then we can go to the innovation cell, to the DPU, so discuss their idea and what we can do for it.
Yes.
I think we can create a channel, so they can first come to the clinic, and you could then pass on the idea to the committee of the institute, and then the institute committee can recommend it further for DPU.
Yes.
okay, I think then we can end the session for today. Thank you everyone again.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank
Thank
you all the
you.
participants.
Thank you, speakers and panelists and the participants. Thank you so much.